Greetings from Classic Work. If you can tell, we're not in the shop today. We're actually redoing our bathroom in our house. But I was going to do a quick video on how to solder copper pipe, which sometimes it's a little bit challenging, and I know a lot of people out there don't know how to do it. A lot of do-it-yourselfers and stuff like that. And I'm going to show you a really easy way how to solder copper pipe. Alright, I got a piece of pipe here cut about 20 inches, and we're going to solder this 9-degree elbow on it. Now, the first thing that you want to do as soon as you get your pipe cut is go ahead and check the fit, 'cause sometimes there'll be a burr on there and you want that to be down nice and tight. Check both ends. Okay, seems to be good. Now, next you're going to have to clean the pipe and your fitting, and you can do it with sandpaper, or they make little things nowadays that are just little wire brushes, and you just put them on the end of your pipe and they work really well. I'll shine that thing up like new. But in soldering, it's very important that everything is super duper clean. So see how shiny it is on the end? That's exactly what you want. I'm just gonna do both ends. Can't have it too clean. Alright, next you want to clean your fitting, whether it's elbow or a T or whatever. And they make little special wire brushes for this too. And just get in there and clean it really well. And while you're at it, go ahead and clean the other side of the fitting, because you know, whenever you get everything fluxed and everything, you don't want to be, you want all this to go smoothly. It doesn't matter which end you put on. Alright, nice and clean. Now then, to get ready for your flux, all that you got to do is take your brush and a good quality flux and just paint it right on the end. Be sure that you get a good coat on it. Too much flux is a lot better than not enough. So be sure that you do this. Alright. Also, you want to flux your fitting as well. Okay. Now then go ahead and attach the two. Make sure it seats down all the way. Okay, now that you have your fitting and pipe all ready to go, I'm going to tell you a couple of tips about soldering. One is, which is really obvious, your solder itself. Be sure that you get a silver solder that does not have a lead base, which is just common sense, but just want to tell anybody out there. And also, when you're soldering with a flame propane torch, your cone that's on your torch, which is located right here, this is the hottest point of the torch, and you want that metal, whenever you stick it to it, you want that cone to be right on it. That's the hottest point. That's where you want it. So that's the tip for the torch. But I'm gonna zoom in close to the fitting and let you watch all the soldering from there. Okay, we're ready to begin. One other little tip about the solder: if you take the solder and bend the end on it a little bit, about 60 degrees or so, or less, it really does help to get around the corners whenever you go to solder your bead on. So, well, let's just get started. Get a good medium flame on your torch, and you want to start with the area that has the most surface area there, the most metal. So start right there right where that bend is on that elbow, and heat it up. You'll hear that flux burn off a little bit. And the metal will change colors, and don't be alarmed by that. That's quite alright. But it doesn't take long for it to heat up. Take your solder and test it. It's not there yet. Let it heat up a few more seconds and try again. There she goes. That solder is drawn to the heat, so wherever you put your torch, that's where the solder will flow. And be sure that you turn it. Make sure that you've got contact from all sides. Come up here. Okay, that ought to do it. Okay. One thing that you do want to do after you solder is take you a good wet rag and wipe off the excess solder that's off there while it's still hot. Just be careful, don't burn yourself. The reason for this is if you don't do this step, I think the solder, I think it oxidizes, and what happens is, I mean, it's fine if you leave it like that, but what happens is the copper will green, and here's a piece of copper that's greened, and well, it leaked too. That's why it caused it to do that, but it'll do it around the joint too, and you don't want that. So make everything nice and tidy, nice and neat, and really just, that's about it. Still quite hot, but that's it for soldering a copper joint. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.